Additional income streams. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome back, you guys. I'm Courtney. For those that are new here, thanks for joining us. I want to take a quick minute and just shout out those of you who have taken time to give this podcast a rating and review. I see you and I appreciate you. So let's jump to it. Multiple income streams. That was the topic we talked about last week in the community, my private community, which if you're not in there, I'd love to have you. Just check out the show notes below. You can grab the link to request to join. We talk everything money mindset when it comes to how you view money, how you view yourself. Ultimately, as we talked about in past episodes, that has a direct reflection with your earning as well. But today I wanted to talk about a topic that I'm so very passionate about, and it is multiple income streams. I don't think this is something that most people really think about. I know for myself, ever since I graduated college at the age of 18, I had always had 2 to 3 income sources going at all times. And maybe you can relate fresh out of college, but then as you go on and life happens and you have a family and you get a house and you do all those things, most people try or do narrow it down to just one stream of income because you just don't have the time, right? So you go to your corporate job or whatever it is, and you just focus on that one stream of income. Whereas in our younger days, we kind of maybe work our day job, then waitress in the evenings and do all those kind of things, right? But there's something that happens when we create a family and we have a house and we have all this stuff, right? We have more expenses. We have more expenses as a family across the board. I think you can relate to that than we did in our college days. But here we are usually operating on one income, 2 incomes if you include your spouse. I'm a huge believer, though, that each person should have at least 2 streams of income. Now, this brings me to a question that I want to ask you. I want to ask you something. If you or your spouse were to lose their job tomorrow, would you be okay? I know it's a loaded question. It may trigger you. It may bring up a bunch of emotions. It may make you feel panicked. Do not judge yourself. Just lean into it. I want you to ask yourself if you would be okay. If the answer is no, creating a multiple income stream probably is something that you may want to look at. Now, the point of this podcast is basically just to bring awareness, to broaden your awareness around income and the many different ways that you have available to you today. Many generations ago, if you look back to your great grandparents, they didn't have the opportunities that we had. You worked at a job probably for your whole life, built a business, maybe a lot of our ancestors are entrepreneurs, or you did your job for your whole life. You didn't have opportunities to say, use the internet to grow an additional stream of income, or the various opportunities that we have available today, right? You also look back, it was different back then. There wasn't they equally had equal expenses and stuff like that. That's a podcast for a whole different day. But they didn't have a lot of the shiny, glamorous things that we have available today, the eye-catching things, the upgrades, all this stuff that costs additional money, credit cards, all that kind of stuff where we kind of accumulate that debt, which happens to be a big burden on us today and stressor for us, right? So they didn't have any of that. But moving forward to today, we have all these opportunities available to us, whether you know about them or not. So when it comes to income streams, it's really important whether that income stream brings in an extra $200 for you a month or an extra $20,000 for you a month. It's basically creating a buffer. And I think you're going to find that your stress about money will diminish that much more knowing that you have this buffer to lean on. So I'm going to share with you a perfect example here. So I think we can all say for 2020, it was like a great awakening for everyone. Sure, we really got to see what was important when it came to health and time with our family to really sit back and evaluate things. But I think it was a great awakening for many in terms of job security. A lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic and had nothing to fall back on. So I was actually in that boat. So in March of 2020, when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I was actually laid off from my dental hygiene career for almost 4 months, right? No fault of anybody's. This was basically what was happening to everybody, right? I didn't qualify for government assistance. However, I did have a second additional stream going, right? Like I said, since I was 18, I have had multiple income streams at one time. At this current point right now, I have 5 different income streams. So luckily, when I got laid off, I didn't have to go into panic mode. I didn't have to stress about where the next paycheck was coming from, how I was going to pay my bills, because I had already been working on additional income streams. So when I ask you if you would be okay if you or your spouse lost their job, I want you to really think about that. Now, I don't want you to go into panic mode, and I don't want you to rush out and find like, oh my goodness, I need an income stream like right now. I just want it to be, I just want to broaden your awareness on it and how it can help you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share a few different ways that you can, low cost ways and time efficient ways that you can grow multiple income streams. Sure, you could go out and get a waitressing job, or you could add a second job in the evenings after your day job. Sure, you can do all that. But for me, as a busy mom, that wasn't feasible for me. So I was already working 10-hour days as a dental hygienist, and I had thought about picking up some shifts on the evening and weekends, but then my family life would lose out, right? So I'm going to share with you some ways where you can kind of monetize what we have available to us here in this generation now, which is the internet. Our ancestors did not have this opportunity, and there are many different opportunities available to you to help create additional income streams from home, basically, right in the cracks of life. So the first one that I want to share with you is you can launch an online business, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it is a business that you have. Maybe you're a personal trainer and you have programs that you've created, or maybe you own a gym or a studio where people come to in-person classes, but you can monetize that and distribute those products all across the world if you wanted to, right? So I want you to start thinking, maybe you currently have a business, or you currently have something that you're very passionate about that you can put into a document and build a business online. There is online classes, like you can run classes. There are many different things. So think online business. There are also options for you to create turnkey business in the direct selling industry. So this means that you can find a product, or you can find a company that aligns with your values. Maybe it's something you already use. Maybe it's something you already enjoy. And you can take that and start it as a hobby if you want. If it's maybe just generating a couple extra $100 a month for you, that's a couple extra $100 a month that you didn't have before, right? So that would be my first suggestion, is how can you create an online business where there isn't much overhead, right? We know brick and mortar, that is a huge investment. But when you think in terms of online, you can basically utilize your social media to grow and expand that online business. The next option that I want to share is teaching and sharing your knowledge. What are you really good at? Maybe you're really good at hobby farming. Maybe you know how to raise chickens and take care of horses and garden. Maybe you're really good at that, and maybe you're really passionate about that too. How can you take that knowledge, put it into maybe a course, and sell it, right? Online courses are a hot thing right now. Our generation is already accustomed to learning online through the, last year, our children learned online. So we are already open to the idea of learning online. So why not take something that you're really good at and share it, put into, there's Kajabi, there's Teachable, there's many different platforms that you can use to distribute this course that you create to share your teachings with people, and sell it. That's an additional income stream right there. So yeah, take something that you know a lot about. And I want to share with you right now too, the coaching industry is an unregulated profession, which is good in a way because you don't have someone breathing down your back telling you what to do and what you need to say and all this stuff. But then at the same time, you want to trust the source, right? If it's an unregulated profession. So you can basically take your knowledge, draft it together in a workbook, in a course, and sell it. So there's another option for you to go and look into how you can get your knowledge out into the world and help people by sharing what it is that you're so passionate about. Now, the last income stream that I want to touch on is affiliate marketing. So is there something that you are using on a day-to-day, like a product or maybe a course that you've taken? Why not look into to see if they have an affiliate program, which means that you can partner with them, which usually is for free or at least a small cost, where they will then pay you a percentage for sharing the product. So maybe it's a course that you took that's really helped you, and as you talk about it and share about it, the creator of that course is going to give you a percentage for anybody you refer or enroll, right? Or maybe this one brand of clothing that you really, really like and you wear all the time, and people are asking you about it all the time. Why not be an affiliate where you can be like, yeah, okay, you here, join, or you like this outfit, here's my shop. This is what you can purchase it from my shop. And you are going to get a kickback from sharing that information. So there's a wide variety of ways you can create additional income streams without having to go out of the house to search for a job. There's virtual assistants, there's EA positions, there's EA. I meant virtual assistant. I'm thinking teacher's EA. But there's positions online where you can be a virtual assistant for someone, where you basically create graphics and help them run their online business. A lot of network marketers are looking for that these days, for someone who is well versed in social media. And you don't have to have any schooling for that. If you know how social media works, if you love that creative side of things, you can very well offer your services to network marketers or other online business owners and say, hey, let me take the burden off you, and I'll create your graphics, I'll run your group, I'll do all this kind of stuff. And in return, they're going to pay you for that, right? So while I'm saying these different income streams too, you're probably thinking it's not enough, to make a difference. It's only an extra couple $100 a month. Maybe only an extra couple hundred to start, but as you get established, as with any business, whether it's a direct selling business, an online business, whether you're doing a course creation or affiliate marketing, when you start out in anything business related, because basically that's what you would be doing, is going into business for yourself, you you start out small, right? We all don't just start out in business and make it to the top and expand and grow our income. We start out small, but word of mouth happens, and as you share what you're doing, you'll get more clients or customers, and things will grow. And that little income stream that you started with a goal of only $200 a month to earn has now turned into maybe a 5-figure earning additional income stream, right? Things can really start to take off really quickly. When it comes down to product and services as well, keep in mind there's Etsy. If you have a physical product that you sell, use social media to sell it. But then there's also other platforms that can help you do that as well, like Etsy. Okay, so keep in mind, these are all different income streams that you can, and I want to say low cost and small time commitment income streams that you can start at the beginning. Now you can throw as much time into it as you want and grow it as fast as, or as quick, as big as you want by, of course, the more time you put into it, the more, the quicker it'll probably grow. But just start somewhere. Okay. So I am a huge believer, huge advocate of multiple income streams. I can't stress it enough. It's just something that is peace of mind, something for you to fall back onto, and something that's there for in the meantime, if maybe you don't need it to fall back onto, but it's a good buffer. Okay. So that is it for today. I wanted to make sure that I shared those top 3 ways that you can kind of start dabbling with additional income streams. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, I would absolutely love it. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you could leave me a rating and review, that would be amazing. I read them all the time. And if you think that this episode would help somebody, go ahead and share it to your stories or to your platform or tag a friend. Multiple income streams are the way of the future. We are so lucky to be in this generation to be able to utilize the internet in this way. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I will most definitely see you guys back next week.